So we're kind of 2 weeks now into quarantine. And one of the biggest things that people are noticing is getting quite tight in the hips. So the posture is probably sitting down a lot more than usual. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a few movements that you can do at home. You can do this on a morning and night time, and you can do it any time during the day just to help mobilize the hips. So as I said, we're in quarantine, so I may well be bombarded by a little fella now at some point interrupting the video like normal. The other one's asleep, so hopefully he doesn't wake up. But let's go through it. The first one's going to be a frog stretch. I'll show you from two angles. Pull the floor apart, push your hips back. Just hold it for a couple of seconds. Come forward again, pull the floor apart, push it back, just hold it and release. You want to be doing about 10 of them. This kind of really gets down into here, gives you a nice little stretch. Yeah, the next one is called a pigeon stretch. I do like to modify this a little bit, and I'll tell you why. Traditionally, you would have your leg at 90 degrees. Personally, I don't like this. Puts a lot of strain through the knee. So I like to bring that leg back, and then all I do is just lean into it. Where you should get is a stretch in the sides of the glutes here. If you're not feeling it, you can open that leg up a little bit and just lean more to the side, which I'm getting a good hit on this side of the glute. So you can give that a go. So the next one is going to be a groiner. The groiner is one of my go-to movements just to get a nice stretch in the hip flexor. So you just be in a push-up position, sinking your hip right down. Change, sinking the hip right down. It's important that you're dropping the hip down and you're not leaving the hip up. Okay, so from here, you're dropping the hip right down and pushing the hips towards the floor. And again, it's pulling in a nice stretch across there. Okay, next one's a squat to stand. It's hands underneath your feet. Keep your hands underneath. Stretch up with your hamstrings. Back down, and we're sitting in that bottom of the squat position. Pushing the knees out. Show you from the side. Again, good lot of work from in the hips. Now when it comes to hip mobility, I don't like just doing stretching. I think if you're going to do some stretching, you need to do some activation work as well. So the activation work, it's good that we activate the glutes. Okay, so a couple of movements to activate the glutes, and I'll not go through loads, I'll just go through a couple. First one is just nice and simple glute bridges. Knees out. Squeeze your glutes. At the top, make sure you push your knees out over your toes, because this really gives you a good stretch, a good activation work in the sides of the glutes here. The next one is a side climb. So pushing from this knee. Feeling it on the side. Okay. So not just stretching, you can see I actually get my heart rate up a little bit. So it's not just about stretching. Stretching is good, it gets you into positions, but it's also important that you mobilize, it's activating these muscles, because we want to build some strength as well as just stretching. Just stretching is going to make things looser. We don't want it just to be looser, we want it to be tighter, we want it to be firmer and stronger. Okay, so yes, we maybe need to loosen some things off, but you also need to create some stability and some structure. So they're just some simple movements. You can just put them together. You don't need to do loads. Try this on a morning. Okay, what I'll do is I'll put a list here now. You can probably see it there. That's a list of sequence that you can do on a morning. Maybe it's take you 5, 6, 7 minutes possibly to do. Try it. See if it loosens the hips off. If it does, drop us a message. Let us know if it helps. Kids are still asleep, so score.